Welcome back, guys. Another brand new episode of this show that still doesn't have a name. I know. About 200 episodes ago, I asked you guys for name suggestions, and you did a great job. Gave me loads of really good names, and I had a bunch of shortlisted, but in the end, I couldn't really make up my mind. So we stick with having no name for now, but it won't stop us from looking at a few really exciting UFO clips today that have been shared to me over on our Discord. Okay, and I want to say thanks to Arthur today, because I think both clips, we're looking at 3, but both main clips have been submitted by Arthur over on our Discord. You can do the same if you got really cool, interesting clips that you want to share with me. Join our Discord. The link's in the description. It's free. You can DM them to me or share them in any public chat. I'm always curious to see what you guys have to share and what you think might not be easy to debunk. All right, so those are the kind of clips that I want. Anyway, the first clip that we're going to look at today could be titled the Invisible Russia UFO or something. It's a really fascinating clip, and I'm going to play it for you guys. It does have audio.
Yes,
so this guy is kind of talking Russian. I don't understand Russian, but he doesn't talk that much, but he films this UFO over this block of flats. And you know what I say, right? You know me. If I see something like this, usually I'm like, well, dude, there's only one clip, one angle of this. There are cars driving up and down the street. Surely there are people living in these flats, so they would be seeing it, they would be filming it. There would be so many different videos of this object. But there's a specific clue to this one, okay, that totally removes that theory that I have. And that is that you can see that this gentleman you see here claims to have these glass shards. And these glass shards allow him, if he looks through the glass shards, allow him to see these objects in the sky, okay? That's his story. And again, big thanks to Arthur for translating all this from Russian. So apparently, allegedly, he has obtained these glass shards from a UFO crash that he witnessed while he was fishing. So the guy's filming this, witnessed UFO crash while he was out fishing, took these glass shards with him, and then discovered that it allows him to see these objects in the sky that are not visible for anyone else, right? So that's clever. That's really clever, because it totally nullifies my theory of like, why are there not more angles of this if you can only see it through this glass, right? So anyway, he keeps filming this object, and there are a bunch of more angles. You can see it here, and it looks fairly convincing, right? Again, if it's all just behind the glass and behind the shard, and that's why nobody else can see it, then okay, you know, that at least lends a little bit of credibility. I mean, besides the fact that this glass shard theory just makes no sense. I mean, what kind of glass would it be? Some kind of polarized glass? It's certainly not just regular glass. But there's one shot in the end of this that really has me suspicious, or that had me suspicious as I was looking through this. And I'll link the original video that you see here down in the description so you can go check it out yourself. So check it out. He puts up the glass. He sees the object sitting right here between these two buildings, right? Films it. He talks a little bit in the background. And now it starts moving. And he freaking puts the camera down, puts the glass down. It's like the whole way through, this object did not move as far as I could see. And here it is, finally moving away. And he's like, yeah, okay, I don't need to film this. It's moving away now. It's like, bro, what the hell? Like, that makes absolutely no sense. So that was the first moment where I was like, yeah, okay, I'm not sure about that. So then he keeps like looking around the sky, looking through the lens, trying to spot it again. So it's a beautiful story. It went kind of viral. 280,000 views it got on YouTube. So what he did is he turned this idea of this space glass that he has into a much bigger thing, right? He recorded separate videos where he shows them in more detail, gives more background, explained how he obtained it. There are other people making videos about it, breaking it down, and it kind of started almost like a small phenomenon where people were trying to analyze, trying to understand what kind of material is what glass. And then he also has this clip, which I found interesting because he shows like this, I don't know, pattern. It almost looks like stars or something, right? Like different planets aligning or something. So he shows that it's not just regular glass, guys. Look, it's got like some kind of pattern etched into it. And he goes even beyond that in building this world of this weird glass he obtained from this UFO crash, in that he sold some of it. Okay, he sold some of it kind of semi-public, gave it away, people received it, and then those people who received it used their pieces of glass that they obtained from him to film their own objects, okay? So then suddenly videos turned up of people being like, look, I bought the glass from him. Now I can see UFOs too. Unfortunately, a lot of this has been deleted. Again, Arthur did a great job of going back and digging out all these older videos. A lot of it can't be found anymore, but there were videos of those people allegedly having bought the glass from him, showing that it worked for them as well with the UFOs. So I love that, okay? Because not just does he film allegedly some kind of UFO and share the footage, he builds a whole layer of lore around it with the glass, and then he sells it, and it works for other people as well. And it really feels like we have someone here who's, I don't know, potentially a writer or something, someone who's really interested in storytelling. That's how it feels. So I love the whole thing. Obviously, looking at the footage, I don't think I need to tell you guys that I think it's CGI. It is fairly well done CGI. But nonetheless, it is CGI. And I love how, you know, there are these little moments where he removes or he pulls down the lens, and you can just kind of see, do you see this? Oh, look at that. How it kind of, he just keyed it out on the edge of that lens. So I really like this. I really like what he did there, telling the whole story. However, if you go to the description, it says down here, and again, this has been translated by Arthur, but it says this video and all this content is for entertainment purposes only. Okay, so he puts that little disclaimer down there saying, well, I never said it's real. Read the description. It's for entertainment purposes only. And he goes beyond that, right? If you check his channel, you find that that's exactly what he does. He only has videos of objects hovering over very similar looking cityscapes, and then he uses the glass to film it. And some of these videos, like this one, for example, I mean, guys, I don't need to tell you that this is fake AF, bro, okay? This is not good compositing. The other video, you know, looked great. I wouldn't say flawless, but it certainly looked better than this one. But I mean, he's got so many of these UFOs, these alleged UFO videos on his channel, and they all look kind of similar. They all look kind of fake. And I think he just found a little niche of uploading fake UFO videos. So that's what he does, you know, and there are plenty of them. They come in different shapes. Here we have, what kind of shape is this? Like a diamond shape or something? Two pyramids on top of each other. So that's the thing he does. He's a CGI artist, but nonetheless, I love it, man. I gotta say, this is nice. This is like a cool art project where he kind of teases people, tries to get them to engage. And he did, right? Like people replied to his glass theory, and it kind of sparked a little bit of a wave, and he built this legend for him. And his videos are not doing that bad, right? If you go to his videos, most of them get like 10, 12, 30K views, something like that. Oh, look, and he just uploaded another one 6 days ago. So brand new video. Let's check this one out real quick. Where is it? It's funny that always these UFOs, they just like pop right in front of his camera wherever he goes. That was the UFO that just flew by. Oh, Jesus. Oh, come on. I feel we're getting lazy over here, bro. We're getting lazy. This looks like complete and utter garbage. Jesus Lord. Okay, at least put a little bit more effort. Why do you think your first video exploded like crazy, man? That was good stuff. But anyway, confidently saying, Invisible Russia UFO debunked. Good Lord. All right. Now I want to share a short 6-second clip with you guys. Really quick. Okay, I just want you guys to tell me in the comments what you think this is. What do you think this is? Is it CGI? Did someone, what's going on here, right? Do you see this? So there's a bunch of people there. I don't know. Is it the arrival of the aliens? If you've seen it and you know what it is, then don't comment, okay? Don't comment. But please let me know in the comments what you think this is. And then we'll get into the second clip. And by the end of the video, I'll reveal what it actually is, okay? So check it out. I'll give you one more little tease here. It looks pretty real, right? I mean, notice the light on the floor here. Right? There's light on the floor that moves with the object. So if it's CGI, someone put some effort into it. Anyway, I want you guys to comment telling me what you think we just looked at. Is it CGI? Is it a model? What is it? All right. The next UFO I want to look at today is the famous Chile UFO helicopter video, okay? I'm sure you've seen this. If you're into UFOs, you must have come across this. In a nutshell, it is this video that a Chilean Navy helicopter, I think, recorded during a routine daytime patrol mission. They were flying along the coast of West Santiago, and they recorded this little object using an infrared FLIR camera, okay? Because apparently they had this equipment new on the helicopter and they were trying it out. So the Navy technician was testing out this. It's a WESCAM MX-15 HD. It's like a forward-looking infrared camera that captured the object you're seeing here, right? And it's an intriguing one because if you look at it, it almost looks like it's made of 2 circles or something, right? 2 circles. It's not exactly tic-tac shaped. It has like humps. So 2 circles is slightly more accurate. Also note it does not make any irrational movement, right? Like zipping movement. We get that with UFOs. That's always an indicator that there's something weird involved if it breaks the barrier of physics and zips around in irrational ways. But this one doesn't do that, right? This one moves slowly. It moves steadily. It almost seems to sit in a place. We had videos like this before where then later it turned out it's actually something that's on the ground, right? Like it could be an oil rig or something in the sea. And it just looks like, through this view, as if there's an object in the sky. And then there's this pivotal moment in this footage where this object suddenly seems to pass some gas, for lack of a better description. But it starts to pull this, what looks to be like a contrail or something behind it, right? Sorry, switching between the views here. But you see, it seems to be stretching out this contrail behind it. And that's like an unusual thing. Right, that's a very unusual thing for a UFO. We have not seen this before. It's like footage of other tic-tac UFOs that we've seen in the past, that they would leave contrails like that then kind of sit in the air, just like we see it here. So it's puzzling footage, okay? And I had people asking me in the past, like, what is it? Can you please try to explain the Chile UFO helicopter footage? So let's look at this. Because one aspect to this type of footage is that because it's filmed with this military-grade looking FLIR camera, it always automatically looks authentic. Even you just see two little black dots connecting or something. There's not much there, but because it's military footage, everyone immediately loses their mind. Now, here's what I could find that debunks this particular case. And all the credit for this goes to Mick West, because he did the research and broke down the exact position of the chopper and the exact angle and direction they were looking at with this camera. And he found out that there were two flights in that exact direction that could have been that particular target that they were looking at. One is flight IB6830 and the other one is LA330. So both of these airplanes were at least in the right direction. But you might say, hold on a second, this doesn't look like an airplane. Okay, if you film an airplane, it's got some kind of wing, some fuselage. Why does it look like two big rings or bubbles that sit on top of each other? That doesn't make much sense. Well, actually it does, okay? Because first of all, if you look at the angle, so the helicopter was at a lower point, the airplane was climbing. It was climbing in altitude, so you would be kind of looking up at the airplane, and you see a rough angle here that shows you how it looks. So it would have these engines on each side of the wings, and the infrared camera reads those engines and the heat that comes off of them as a abstract shape like this. An infrared camera does not capture the object itself, so you would see an airplane, but it does capture the flare up of these engines. And here's another example of a Concorde taking off, also filmed with an FLIR camera, and you can kind of see how the object looks here. Now, these are the two engines on the back of the Concorde. We're talking about a bigger airplane here that had 4 engines, and it was further away. So you're losing that little bit of detail that you see here that's still left of the actual airplane, and instead you're gaining more of the flare up, more of the circle, these two circular shapes that the engines basically create. And here's another example with a similar camera and a similar setup where he uses just two candles next to each other, films them, and you see you barely see the candle or any structure, even it's fairly close up. All you see is this flaring up of those two heat points, right? These points of hotness. And here's a beautiful illustration that really shows how it went down. So the blue line over here is where the Navy chopper flew. As we said in the beginning, he flew along the coast. And then over here is the flight path of IB6830. And you can actually see that looking from this angle, you would see the engine flare not straight, right? Because at this point, the airplane is going towards one direction, so it's tilted, so it wouldn't be straight. And then over here where you see it, you actually see it kind of descending off into the distance, but then it's straight, right? Like suddenly you can see the airplane is straight. And again, you don't see the airplane, you just see the engines left and right. So the way this object behaved in terms of, you know, tilting to a direction and then straightening out for the straight flight perfectly lines up with the direction, with the angles. It's just a perfect match. And then the contrails. You might say, well, hold on a second, monkey. Contrails. We saw the object kind of passing gas. What is that? Contrails happen at like 30,000 feet or above. We don't get contrails at this height, at this altitude. So while that's not completely wrong, there are different types of contrails, okay? You have the contrails that are above 30,000 feet that are basically caused by exhaust, right? The heat coming out of the engines is leaving a trail of hot air, basically mixed with moist. But what we see here is a different type of contrail, okay? This is what they would call a semi-persistent aerodynamic contrail. These kinds of contrails are caused by airplanes climbing. If you climb higher and you, I don't know, don't ask me exactly how it works, but they are not the same contrails that you would have if you're above 30,000 feet. And they are in line with what we see in the video. They only occur for a short moment, right? So I don't know if it is like a certain position of the flaps mixed with some air pressure and heat, whatever it is, and it causes exactly this effect. Also notice that the clouds around the object are also black. You see this? These clouds are black, these clouds are black, because a lot of people are saying, well, you know, it has these contrails, but why are they black? Does that not mean they're extremely hot or something? No, not necessarily. To be honest, in fact, it just means that they are basically clouds. Again, look at all the clouds around. They are registered as black as well. So there's nothing special about this particular contrail comparing it to the clouds around. It is most probably just exactly that. And to put the final nail in the coffin of this alleged UFO case, is that there apparently is one point in the video where you can actually see the object when you zoom in close enough, breaking down into these 3 flares. And again, it lines up with this airplane, and you can kind of see why there are 3 flares and how they line up with an airplane from the right angle. So I would say, thanks to Mick West and his community, this was like a very clear debunk. Okay, we got it debunked, guys. Another one. But let's get back to the video I showed you guys earlier and explain what we see here. Okay, so this was filmed in China. And what did you think it is? Did you think it was a model? Did you think no cheating? Okay, you can't say it now. What do you think it is? CGI? What could it be? Well, here comes the answer. It's actually a drone. It's actually a real full-sized UFO model, okay? I hadn't seen something like this before, anything like this. This is pretty cool. Like, check it out, man. Like, I don't know who built it, but like, bunch of, what is it? 6 different ventilators, engines that he's got there that keep him afloat. I don't know if there's actually a person inside. It looks like there's a person inside there, right? That is very cool. So you can actually sit inside, float around, and it really looks like a UFO. I mean, that would fool anyone. If that flies over your house, dude, that would blow anyone's mind. And I like that they don't do like a particularly bright, at least when it's in the air, like a particularly bright light show. You know, it's just got the ring around, the one light underneath. That does it. That does the trick. So I like this video. It's not a UFO, but I wonder whether you guys got it right in the comments. So that's it for today, guys. I appreciate you watching this episode. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel for more. Again, join our Discord. The link is in the description. I'm hanging out there. It's a lovely community, and you can share your videos with me over there that you want me to debunk. I hope to hear from you. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay tuned. I'm out. Bye.